Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into the massive shift happening in finance and accounting. We're going to explore how AI is flipping the script, turning that tedious manual grind into a real strategic weapon for businesses. Okay, so let's just dive right in with a picture that, honestly, it says it all. A huge 70 to 80% of a finance team's time is just spent preparing and crunching the numbers. And that leaves, what, just a tiny sliver of time for the stuff that actually moves the business forward. Strategic analysis. That imbalance, that's the heart of the problem we're going to unpack today. So all that time spent on manual tasks, it creates this pressure cooker we're calling the monthly grind. And believe me, it has some very real consequences. First off, you've got the insane pressure of the month-end close. For a lot of teams, this isn't just a day or two. We're talking about something that can drag on for more than 10 days. Think about that. You're basically spending half the next month just trying to close out the last one. There's just no time for anything else. And, when you're doing all that work by hand, what happens? The risk of human error goes way, way up. Just one wrong keystroke can create this huge ripple effect. For a finance leader, trust is everything. And accuracy, that's the bedrock of that trust. It's not just a nice to have, it's a must have. So what's the human toll of all this? Well, you've got this relentless cycle of long hours, doing the same repetitive tasks over and over, and it leads straight to teen burnout. And we're not just talking about people feeling a little tired. No, this leads to high turnover, rock-bottom job satisfaction, and this constant headache of trying to keep good people on the team. Okay, so how do you actually break out of this cycle? Well, the answer is a whole new toolkit, powered by automation that's completely changing the way this work gets done. Now, when we say AI here, let's be clear. We're not talking about sci-fi robots. At its heart, it's really simple. It's about machines doing the work humans used to do. Just, a lot faster and with fewer mistakes. And it's not just one thing. It's better to think of AI as a whole spectrum, from simple automation to really complex data-driven intelligence. And here's where it gets really interesting, because you've got different tools for different jobs. On one side, you've got robotic process automation, RPA. Think of this as your super dedicated digital worker on an assembly line. It's perfect for those fixed, repetitive tasks, like uploading journals or refreshing reports. It just does it same way every time. Then, on the other side, you have AI. This is more like your smart junior analyst. It's built for those more dynamic, data-driven tasks, like figuring out why there's a variance in the budget or even drafting up a quick summary. It's all about using the right tool for the job. And this right here, this is the roadmap for success. You can't just jump straight to the end and turn on the AI. It doesn't work like that. Step 1, you tackle the low-hanging fruit, those repeatable workflows. Get them automated. Step 2, you get your house in order. You centralize all your data, clean it up, make it all nice and structured. And only then, once you've done that, can you really unleash the power of AI on that clean data to pull out real insights and make smarter decisions. Okay, so that's the how. Now for the really fun part, the wow factor. What does this actually look like in the real world? Because this isn't some minor tweak. We are literally talking about crushing tasks that took hours down to just a few minutes. So let's take quarterly budget reports. You know the drill, a super painful manual process. Pulling data, formatting spreadsheets, checking for errors. It can easily eat up an entire 8-hour day. Now, with automation, that same exact process is finished in 5 minutes. Yeah, an entire day's work, done. In the time it takes you to go grab a coffee. That's insane. All right, here's another one. Preparing journal entries. A really complicated one could easily take up to 4 hours of just meticulous, head-down, manual work. And after automation, that's a 10-minute job. I mean, the efficiency gains here are just off the charts. And it just keeps getting better. Using tools like OCR, that's optical character recognition, which basically lets a computer read an invoice for you, teams are saving more than 6 hours every single week. And automating the weekly payment review, that saves another 3 hours right there. So look, when you put it all together like this, the story is crystal clear. The move from hours to minutes isn't just a catchy phrase, it's real. This isn't just a small improvement. This is a fundamental change in how the whole finance department works. The ROI is just undeniable. But look, being faster is great, but it's only half the story. To really be a game changer, this whole transformation has to be done the right way. That means it's got to be smarter, safer, and totally strategic. And this is a really important point. This is not about just letting the robots take over and run wild. Good automation has security and control built right into its DNA. It uses what's called a human-in-the-loop design, which is just a fancy way of saying that a real person is still making all the important approval decisions. Plus, every single step is logged and timestamped, perfect for audits. Sensitive data gets masked, and there are secure checkpoints all along the way. And this quote from Sung Lee really just nails it. He says, the mission is to help finance teams move from manual work to strategic analysis. See, it's not just about speed. It's about freeing up your smart, talented people from that soul-crushing manual work so they can actually think. So what's the big picture goal here? It's all about elevating the entire finance function. It's about shifting the team from being reactive number crunchers to being proactive, strategic partners for the business. So instead of just telling you what the sales numbers were last month, they can help you understand why they were what they were. They can build models for the future. They can actually help steer the ship. That's the real game changer. And that really brings us to the final question. We started this whole thing talking about burnout and that awful monthly grind. So what if you could just make it go away? If your finance team was freed up to be a team of strategic minds, what incredible things could they do for your business? What new value could they unlock? That's something to think about.